Mad Vladimir Putin's forces have killed more civilians, including 2 children, in a new barbaric strike on a city center. The heinous attack came a mere few hours before French President Macron is to meet with the US's top diplomat on crafting a ceasefire to finally end the bloody war. The savage, shaded drone terror attack on Dnipro was in defiance of Trump administration's
and Ukraine,
calls
as
to
part
halt
of
the
our
bloodshed
European family,
and
it's
seek a
also a
breakthrough
watershed
peace
moment
deal.
for Ukraine.
The death toll was put at 3,
Europe faces
including
a
a
clear
child,
and present
a girl,
danger,
16,
and therefore Europe
an
has to
elderly
be
woman
able to
as 10
protect
huge
itself, to
explosions
defend
rocked
itself.
the city within a mere 20 minutes. Some 30 were wounded, including 5 children, one aged just 9 months. The terrifying strike on Dnipro was described as Wilhelm. With strikes close to the city hall, IT comes as top Ukrainian officials are to meet in Paris today
The war
for crunch
between
talks
Russia
with
and
EU
Ukraine
and
has
US
Europe
delegations.
on edge.
U.S. Secretary
While
of
European
State Marco
nations are
Rubio
trying to stay
and
united,
U.S. envoy
US
Steve
President
Witkoff
Donald Trump
arrived in
has
the French
threatened to
capital
exit
as
the
President
NATO
Trump's
alliance,
push for a ceasefire has yet
after
to prosper,
accusing European
despite
allies
his
of
pressing
being
pledges to end the
freeloaders.
war. Meanwhile,
Trump
pal
says he
to
wants
Trump
peace in
Italian
Ukraine
Prime Minister
and is
Giorgia
willing to
Meloni
cut a
is
deal
hoped to
with
relieve
Russian
the
President
recently
Vladimir
frosty
Putin,
U.S.-Europe relationship
with or
as she
without
heads to
Ukrainian
Washington,
President
D.C.
Volodymyr
to meet
Zelensky.
the president. Her
Putin has
right-wing
responded by
background has
saying
placed
he's
her in a
open to such
position
a
of
deal,
privilege with
which
the
has pushed
Republican,
Zelensky further
demonstrated
into
through
the
her receiving
European
an
camp.
invitation to attend his inauguration,
With Europe now
unlike
focusing
other
solely on
European
Russia,
leaders. But this
Trump
also
has
means
realigned
Meloni could
his
visit the
military
White House and
is focusing on what the
predominantly on
United
striking
States
deals
considers
for
the
Italy
bigger
rather
threat,
than the continent
China.
as a whole. War rages on. As the bloody war rages on, Vlad has refused to let up on his attacks as he continues to refuse to accept
In
a
February,
ceasefire.
the Trump
Putin's
administration
forces
quietly
staged a major
increased
attack on
deployments
Kherson on Wednesday,
and
which
military
killed at least
exercises
one.
around
The head
China.
of the Kherson City Military Administration, Roman Rochko, dramatically came under fire
It started
while
with
making
their
a
ally
statement
South
about
Korea.
the city being
The
attacked.
US Navy deployed
This
the
came
aircraft
after the
carrier
U.S.
Carl
issued its
Vinson.
most stern warning yet about the peace process. U.S. State
The
Department
45-year-old
spokeswoman
warship
Tammy Bruce
docked in
said,
the South Korean
"There will
port
be
of
no
Busan
negotiations,
and
no
immediately
decisions,
began
no
conducting
agreements
drills
until
with
this
the
carnage
South Korean
stops."
Navy.
She added that the continuing slaughter of civilians only
The
raises
aim was
questions
simple:
over who is
increase
truly
bond
committed to
holding
peace.
between American
It comes
and
as
South
Trump's
Korean
top
forces
advisors are set
and
to travel
prepare
to
them
Paris
for a
on
nuclear
Wednesday for
showdown
talks
with
with Europe
North
over
Korea,
Ukraine and its future. The U.S. State
where Kim
Department
Jong-un
said today.
remains heavily
U.S.
backed
Special
by
Envoys
Chinese
Marco
and
Rubio
Russian
and
allies.
Steve Witkoff will remain in France until Friday as they look to stop the bloodshed, according to a statement.
South
The
Korea
meeting comes
and
only
U.S.
days
Navy
after
have
Trump
particularly
publicly
enhanced
blasted
our
Volodymyr
interoperability
Zelensky
and
for
combined
allowing
maritime
Russia's
operating
invasion.
capabilities
Trump told
amid the
reporters,
North Korea's
"You don't
growing
start a
nuclear
war
and missile
against someone
threats.
20 times your
Furthermore,
size and
we
then
are
hope that
heightening
people
our
give you some
enduring
missiles."
and watertight
Putin is
extended
also set to
deterrence
discuss
with the
Ukraine when he
continuous
welcomes
deployment
Qatar's
of
Emir
US
Tamim
strategic
bin
assets.
Hamad Al Thani in Moscow this week. Macron has taken the lead in seeking to forge a coordinated European response to defending Ukraine.
While the
during both
aircraft
the
carrier
current
undertook
conflict
sea
and in its
dominance
eventual
drills, the
aftermath.
US Air Force
Zelensky's
deployed
chief
the
of staff, Andriy
B-1B
Yermak,
long-range
said he and
strategic
Foreign
bomber
Minister
to carry
Andriy
out
Sybiha
drills with
and
the South
Defense
Korean Air
Minister
Force.
Rustem Umerov were in Paris to meet France, Germany, Britain, and the United States. A French diplomatic
Once the
source
air
had
and
said
seas were-
earlier Rubio and France's Foreign Minister Jean-Noël Barrot would discuss the war in Ukraine,
Leaders of the European
situation
Union
in
have
the
gathered
Middle
in
East
Brussels.
and the
They're having
Iranian
another
nuclear
summit
file.
to discuss the
This will
future
be
of European
Rubio's third
security
trip to
and
Europe
the fate
since
of
taking
Ukraine.
office. Witkoff said on Monday, just days after his third meeting with Putin, that he himself sees a peace deal
Watershed
emerging.
moment
The
for
Paris
Europe.
talks come after
And Ukraine
discussions
is
between
part
the
of
United
our
States
European
and
family. It's
Iran on
also a watershed
Tehran's
moment
nuclear
for
program
Ukraine.
were held Saturday in
Europe
Oman.
faces
And in
a
the
clear
latest
and
development,
present danger.
Iranian Foreign
And
Minister
therefore Europe
Abbas
has to be
Araki
able
will visit
to
Russia this
protect
week
itself,
ahead
to
of a
defend
planned
itself.
second round of talks. Despite a series of diplomatic efforts, Russia's strikes that have recently killed dozens of people show